Welcome to the part 16 of this playlist. By the way, part 15 we have uploaded in the members area. Click the link in the description, become a member, Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja member. Both these areas will have access to DP203 paid content. If you have not yet subscribed, please do so. This series we are going to post all of the material which is there on YouTube or Google or etc. Wherever we find questions, whatever type of questions, we are going to post everything here for you so that you can make the best use of it. Let's move to the questions. Okay, you may pause this video here, read this carefully. This is a question now. In layman's term, what is happening? You have point A, you have point B. You have to copy files from, this is your point A, okay, and then you have, this is point B. You have to move your files from this to this. This is the simple way of understanding this. How you have to move using Azure Data Factory. What is Data Factory? It is the ETL data integration service. You can extract, transform, and load the data using this service, and that is how they are planning to move the data from point A to point B using this ETL. Okay, which two configurations should you include in the design to do this? First, specify a file naming pattern for the destination. Okay, definitely you need that. See here what is happening, the data will be loaded to data lake and using this folder. This is the thing which they have given. So A is saying, boss, tell me where should I put the file. You want to do that. B is saying, I will delete the file in the destination before loading. That means if I am moving one file from here to here and B already has a file, I will delete it. Okay, so if I am immigrating people from one country to other, if country B already has people, I will kill them. Does this look logical, boss? Who told you to do that? That is wrong. Similarly, they are saying, I will delete the source file after they are copied. Who told you? Suppose after the copy people say, hey, you have not done your job properly, like just like India, man, in the last 70 years, after 70 years of ruling. Now there are a lot of people in the current generation saying, hey, what was our government doing in the last 70 years, man? They have not done it properly. What if something of that sort happens and you have to go back to your source files and investigate that? You cannot delete it. So do not delete is not an option for you, boss. It is not an option for you. It is only the option with the government. They will delete the files, you cannot access it, not for you. So see, we have to choose two answers. Who told? This guy told here, two configurations. So the second one, option C, that would be our default answer. Why? It is saying filter the last modified date of the source files. Okay, so why? See, A will have file 1, file 2, file 3, file 4. Boss, what should I move? It will go there, filter based on last modified date. Okay, whatever is the latest modified date, I'll pick that file. Latest file, it will move there. Simple. So these are our logical answers. Simple thing. If I have to recap this, delete is not an option. On the source side or the target side, do not delete, boss. Simple. Let us look at this next question now. Okay, you can pause this, read it carefully, come back. Okay, again you have point A, point B. Again you have to move the data. How? All data, all data, all data? No, incremental data. Only what is new. The key requirements here are automatically retry the execution if there is a failure. Okay, so this guy from here, there is one guy, he is moving the data from this place to this place. When he is moving the data, he falls down from a hill. Failure happened. Now what to do? That guy should again go back up the hill and start moving the data. It should happen automatically. That guy should not, after falling, he should not go and sleep. Boss, the job is not done. You have to transfer the data. That should happen automatically. Second thing, what should happen? It should support backfilling existing data in the table. Which type of trigger we will use? See, this is the trigger we have to use. Now you might ask, why, boss? Why? Why not event? See, is there an event? Is there someone saying, why do we use event? Why do we use event? So event is something which we use if certain events happen, then we do something. For example, if an earthquake happens, Then we activate the disaster management teams. That is one event. Here in the cloud world, if a file comes in a particular path, then we activate the ETL. That is an event. In this case, we do not have any event occurring. That is why event will not fit in. Now we are talking about schedule. You might very well say that, hey, you know what, the pipeline needs to execute every 4 hours. Isn't that a schedule? Can't we set up something to run every 4 hours? Yes, man, that is. The problem is this event type, the schedule event type, does not support these two requirements, and that is why we'll have to give this a pass as of now. Okay, and then we have on demand. On demand is like, you know that you have to run this for every 4 hours, but on demand is something that you are there on the system, you will activate it when you wish. Okay, so it is up to your whims and wishes. We cannot use this sort of trigger because we have to run this every 4 hours. So if you see this event triggers, they do not support backfilling the existing data. And you may pause this and read this paragraph if you want more information on this. Plus event support, it does not support retries. Okay, so that is something which both the two requirements it is not supporting. Tumbling window, it has these supports. You can specify the number of times the trigger will be retrying. Like suppose if it fails once, okay, how many times you want to retry? Usually we do a retry of 3 times. Okay, and then still if it fails, we accept as our fate. Schedule triggers, they do not support retries, and like we discussed, on demand triggers, you explicitly call them. This means that you have full control when the trigger is executed. Okay, and you can also specify the time of backfill. That is something which is under your control, but this also means that the demand triggers are not as efficient for backfilling the existing data compared to tumbling window triggers. Demand triggers are not efficient. We would lock this answer and move forward. Let's look at this question now. You are creating a notebook in Azure Databricks, and that will support R as a primary language, but will also support Scala and SQL. Which switch should you use to switch the languages? Okay, so that means you need something. Listen me carefully. You need something which can support multiple languages, and you should be able to switch. A guy should be able to switch from speaking Hindi to English to Tamil to Telugu and Kannada and so on. So there is a switch in this guy. Out of these four, which switch you should use? On and off switch. So if we first switch, if we switch it on, this guy will speak Tamil. If we switch it off, this guy will speak Hindi. What is that switch? That switch is this percentage R language. I don't have a logic to this. This is the way it is. And you know that Databricks can support various languages. So and this is how we switch between the languages. Now let us look at this next question. This is a stream analytics question. So these are the devices and these are the event times. What we need to do is calculate the uptime between the faults. That means when the failure happens, you calculate the uptime. So you got to complete this SQL query. What should you select here? So what it is trying to do is it is selecting device ID, min, max of event time, and date def, and etc. etc. That is perfectly fine. But from input standby event type, what event type we should use here? So the event type in this case would be heartbeat. So here we have the event type heartbeats between the faults, and then you have to select which type of windows you will use while grouping. So we will not use tumbling window. In this case we will use session window. Why? Because session window, you know how this query will work. Here is session windows, it will club everything and put it forward as a window function. So you can pause this video, read this carefully. The tumbling window, what it does is it divides the data stream into fixed size and non-overlapping. That means uh, data cannot get duplicated here. Very good, because you want non-overlapping stuff, but you will have to specify a window of some sort, and this would be our final answer. Let us look at this question now. See, you have this kind of whole story. Okay, this is just like a Mahesh Bhatt story. same horror movie story he will create again and again. This is same horror story, same plot they have written. What is important is who is the heroine, how much she will expose. That is what comes from these movies. Otherwise, a ghost and everything we already know, and we are not interested in the ghost. Now you need to recommend a folder structure for the data, and the solution should meet these two requirements. Okay, you have to complete the structure. So this is number one. What will come here first? The first thing is what they are saying is there are seven geographical regions. So first thing that should come is region. Do you see region here? Not region raw. It is always a raw region ID. This one will come here. This is first thing. Second thing is you have to give a file like the path format. So will you start with minutes first? No, boss. You will not start with minutes first. What is the format? YYMMDDHHMM. Okay. Now here, do we have to go up to minutes or do we stick up to hours? What should we do? Any thought? See, data will be processed every 15 minutes. Who says so? This guy is saying here, man. 15 minutes. So you have to go to minutes. So this would be here, point number 2. And then you have, what did you have? What do you have? What do you have? This 25 million devices. So this will be number 3. Number 3 would be devices. That means device ID. So this is the format. I hope you understood how we arrived at that answer. So let us move at the next and see this question now. So you have two things A and B, and you want move the data. In this case, A is your event hub. What does event hub do? It real-time data movement. Okay, and the data will be stored here. B. What is B? B is your data lake storage. Clear? Every 5 minutes it will send the data. The file will have this naming pattern, and you need to prepare the data for batch data processing so that there is one data set per hour per device, and you should minimize read. So what should you use as a parameter here? So parameter, will you use pipeline trigger time, and also, or you will use trigger outputs window start time? This is something which you will have to use window start time. And for the naming pattern here, since we are saying one data set per hour per device, so we will go with this one, because one data set per hour and per device, it has to start with YY. It cannot start with device ID. That is so wrong, because the always remember the pattern always starts, at least you have this year, month, date. And copy behavior, what will you use copy behavior? Since you have to send one data set per hour per device, you will merge the file set. So flatten hierarchy will not work here. Flatten hierarchy, why we use? Because we have suppose a JSON document and a structure there, and then we have to read it and put it in a database. Then in that case we use flatten. So the merge copy behavior, it will merge all the files from the source and produce a single file in the sink. What is sink? Sink is the target, nothing but the target. And why not dynamic content? Because dynamic content, it allows you to use variables and expressions in the copy activity. Okay, and it helps you with conditional copying and dynamic file names, dynamic partitioning. It is a powerful feature to make your copy activities more flexible and efficient. In this case, this will not work, because you in this case you want to merge the file so that every hour, every device, you produce one file only. So this would be our final answer. You can subscribe to this channel and gain more insights on certifications. DP203 is very important for data engineers. Now, if even if you are not a data engineer, and it is a good certification to add to your portfolio, it will add a lot of weightage to your CV. It is not a pro certification, it is a intermediate level certification. We will keep posting many more such contents. It will help you clear the certification. So this brings us to the end of this part. This is the YouTube handle of this channel. You can look out for various playlist videos on AWS, Azure, Cloud, Google Cloud, Snowflake, and so on. Stay tuned, stay focused. See you in the next part. By the way, part 15 is in the members area. Cloud Kernel or Cloud Ninja members can view it.